show is about to begin. Enjoy.
Michael O'Grady, I creativi.
They're all for sale. Pretty much all the skinny ones are 200, the bigger ones are 300. And all you gotta do is message me.
I hope you're
and
not
I will
talking
get
about
it to
girls.
you.
Skinny ones are 100, the bigger ones are 300.
Yeah, I gotta make the side business work.
Yeah. You live close enough to Cuba or whatever that is. You can get away with it. It's like Dexter.
So yeah, please tell the story, and then we got to get back to the music too, because I want to make sure we're plugging everything properly.
Right, yeah.
Because there's so many band stories too.
I got way too many.
Of your bands.
Yeah. And the other thing about me too is I'll talk about it too. Like I had so much music shit going on. Sorry, I apologize. I don't want to curse too much on your show. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
But I also, because of Corona, I have a couple of film things coming out where I'm like doing a lot of acting.
Okay.
But those all got pushed back. It's just another creative outlet. I've been doing a lot of like acting and music and stuff like that, and I've been having a blast with that.
I saw that. That looks awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm really bummed that it got pushed back because it was supposed to be released around now, but they're figuring it out. So I shot this short film earlier in the year, and we can talk about all that stuff in a second. But I do have a story about the police.
The police.
The police, straight out of the underground, straight out of Warren. Arr! So I was 19 years old.
Okay.
I was either 19 or 20. I want to say I was actually 20. And at the time, I was dating this girl. And we were dating for quite a few months at this point. And this is around Halloween time. And we dress up that year as like 80s glam. So I dressed up like this Nikki Sixx type of looking thing where I had this big black hair. I had the makeup, I had the lipstick, I had a fishnet shirt, black leather jacket, leather pants, the boots. I looked crazy as hell. She dressed
Your typical Tuesday outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Just like another Wednesday at the office. Like, whatever, yeah. And she dressed like kind of Madonna's 80s. She had the fishnet thing. She had her hair all day. It was fun. It was awesome. It was really cool. And we had plans to go out. This is Halloween night. And we had plans to go out. What was it? It was McMenemy's. There's this bar that I think is closed now. It was right off of like an interstate or whatever. And it was called McMenemy's. We had plans to go there. Now, my girlfriend at the time, I'm 20. She is 21 or 22. And she has these two friends that were 25. And so I'm driving. We are planning on going to the bar. We get to the bar. It's just me and the girlfriend at the time at the bar. She knows a couple of people there. I know a couple of people there. I'm underage. I shouldn't be there. So we're at McMenemy's. She's getting text messages from her two friends saying they're too drunk to drive. They can't make it out. And she goes, "Can you go pick them up? I know you really, you can drive or whatever like that." And I don't think I was that too deep into the night. And I go, "Sure, I'll go pick them up." So I zip all the way across town. I go down. I snatch them up. I pick them up. We're in the truck. We're in that blue truck that used to be my mom's. It was my car at one point. And so we're driving down the road, and I get pulled over. And, I mean, they're dressed to the 9s and the 10s of their Halloween costume. I don't remember what they were, but imagine me looking like Nikki Sixx, straight out of Motley Crue. And he goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "You were going 40. The speed limit is 35. Now, again, it's Halloween night. I know cops pull people over for anything they can think of. It's a dangerous night." And I go, "Fuck." I'm like, "All right." And he goes, "Have you had anything to drink?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Have they?" And I go, "Yeah, that's why I'm driving." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "I need to see your ID. I need to see their IDs." He takes our IDs, goes back to the car. As you know, that takes a couple minutes to run everything. He comes back and he goes, "Mr. O'Grady, step out of the car." And my heart dropped. They're looking at me like, "Do you have any answers?" I'm like, I'm going to sell you out. You're going to jail. I'm not going to jail. And it's kind of cold out, and he pulls me into the car, into the cruiser. I sit in the front seat, and he goes, "All right, Mr. O'Grady, I'm going to do the field sobriety test with you right now." And he goes, "I want you to follow my pen with your eyes, not with your head. Okay, and now I want you to touch the top of the pen." Now, under normal circumstances, you're probably nervous. Number one, I'm nervous, and I have a little bit of booze in my system. Not a lot, and also you shouldn't drink and drive, ever. And I go, "Okay. Yeah. Slam dunk, I got it. Yay, I did it, okay." And he goes, "All right, you seem fine." And he goes, "Now listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. O'Grady. Your car reeks of booze." not a good look. But those girls are 25 and you're only 20. I can only assume you're the designated driver. And like he said it in a way like, yes. Agree with me. And I go, yes, I am. And he goes, all right, have a good night. Drive safe. And I go, okay. Oh, I'm opening the door. I'm getting out of the car. He goes, say hi to your dad for me. I get in the car. I drive to McMenemy's. I pull up. I'm like, my heart went from beating a million miles an hour to slowing down. We get out of the car. We walk into the bar. I'm walking. And like Moses in the sea, everybody parted ways. And in the distance, my dad is right there looking dead at me. And he's just like the Blues Brothers. That was his costume with his girlfriend at the time or whatever. And he just walked straight to me. And I'm like, ah! Like I'm going to die. And I'm like, what the fuck is... And he just looks at me and goes, so I heard Horowitz pulled you over just now.
What was that, like 0.5 seconds?
Yeah. In a matter of like 5 to 10 minutes, this guy called my dad or texted him. He's like, I just pulled your son over. And I was like, oh my, and thank God I wasn't in trouble or anything. And he wasn't mad, but he's just like, you better, he was just like, oh, it was ridiculous. So I just remember that was a very scary but funny thing that happened with me growing up with cops.
Well, that was the time frame, in that time frame of hanging out with you and being part of your family. So like, I really couldn't do anything wrong. Because I had all of your family and the cops knowing me. Yeah. I had my grandpa Bud, who knows everybody on God's green earth in Northeast Ohio.
Yep.
I have my mother, who had her little spies around here and there. Because like I would go and hang out with you, because like most of my friends were in the band. So I would go to the football games. I hated the football games. I hated the high school. I hated all of it. But that's where my friends were. So I'd go and watch the band bullshit and sit in the goddamn cold by myself. And I would be hanging out with some people, and my mom would code like the next morning because we would get done there, and then you and I would go and go do our thing the rest of the night, go hang out with some people or whatever. And my mom would go, oh yeah, blah 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 said that you were here. I'm like, yes, blah 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 said I was there because I was supposed to be there. Yeah, I know your spies are everywhere, and you can smell shit from 10 miles away.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I could not do anything wrong. It just.
It's a hard thing to get away. Yeah, but it's one of those things too where either one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to let you slide, or they're going to make an example out of you.
Mine would be the example out of me.
Yeah.
Yours is when you got the slide.
Right. Well, no, not even. No, what I also mean is my brother is because my brother's a cop in Boardman now, and there's been times where they've had some issues with political people's kids. And they try to sweep things under the rug. Not that they try, but they're like, can we? And they go, it's too late. People know about it. And they throw down the hammer hard. Oh, yeah. To be like, you think just because you're a judge's son, you can do this? We're going to be on the newspaper. So there's also that aspect too. It's not like that they're trying to help, you do illegal or reckless things. It's almost like they're like, no, it can be bad. But I mean, for me, it was never... I never did anything that was... Anyway, let's get back to the movie.
Yeah, yours was never that crazy.
No. It was never that.
Just
juvenile
to me.
Yeah.
So the first band that I remember is Mike with Mike Jones.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it was just you playing drums, I think. Or no, was he playing drums?
He was playing guitar. I was playing drums. We called the band MIKE. We had to play our first show for a party that my parents threw. We played nothing but...
At your house, right?
Huh?
At the house, right?
At the house, yeah.
Yep,
they threw a party, and we played nothing but AC/DC songs. That's why it was MI Lightning Bolt KE. And we were both Mikes, and so we were Mike. And I think I sang all the songs terribly and played drums, and we were probably terrible, but we did it anyway.
Yeah, that's the first I remember. And then after that, you created the first official band, which was Double Cherry Bar.
Yes. Yeah.
And actually, Double Cherry Bar was the first time I messed with logos.
Was it really?
So, yeah, kind of mixing in the two, like our two histories is like, that's kind of when I started playing with logos. I wish somebody would have gone, hey, you can go and make a business out of this or go do work with it.
Right, yeah.
I want to say, I'll have to try to find them. I'm pretty sure I have that sketchbook still.
Oh. That would be so cool to see.
I wonder.
Wait, is this a bit? Are you doing a bit where you're like, I wonder if I have it?
No, I'm thinking.
And you pull it right up.
Hold on.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
I have all my shit sitting around randomly, and I
can't
kind of
believe you
remember
have
what stuff
that. That would be so
afterwards.
cool. Yeah, that was the first band.
This might not be.
That was
what?
named
09.
after a slot machine we had in the basement.
Yes,
Terrible
I remember
band
that.
name. I always got so jealous of bands in Ohio or bands that we grew up with that had really cool band names. I hated our band names. I never liked them. But you're like, whatever, I'll play guitar. Somebody else names it, and people go, oh, I don't like that. But you know what's weird, though? Nowadays, it's like people go, I don't like that band name. And I'm like, well, you know what? I guess it just goes to show you can call your band Imagine Dragons, and people will accept you. Because that is the dumbest band name that has ever been invented in band names. Imagine Dragons. It's like a sentence. It's like they're telling me what to do. Like, imagine them. Just close your eyes. There they are. That's the band. Anyway, so anyway, but
I'll have to. I may have one more spot to look because I haven't cleaned up my my personal page in the longest time of photos.
Yeah, you know, what was my favorite memory of Double Cherry Bar was Michael Hicks, our bass player, was in a multimedia class, and Elliot Acevedo would make fun of him and make graphics in that class and call the band Double Cherry Dingleberry. And it was the funniest thing ever. And what made it funnier was that he was in my band. He would get so mad about it, and I would be cracking up. Because I'd be like, dude, you have to laugh. That's funny. Like, if you get mad about it, they're going to keep doing it, but still, it's kind of funny.
Oh, my
anyway,
God.
But yeah, that was the
who
first.
was all in that band? Because I remember Mike Hicks. Was it Skylar?
Skylar, Michael Hicks, me, and my cousin Mitchell Lowry.
Yes. I don't remember him a ton. I probably wouldn't remember to see him.
That kid, the way we grew up, he was another example of Mom and Aunt Kel. I love you guys, you're awesome, but when we were kids, I definitely probably was a bad influence. Aunt Kelly threw the hammer down and wouldn't let him be in the band, and Mitchell was always wishy-washy, like, I can't be in the band, like, I'm focusing on sports. I'm like, whatever. And like, whatever. We're like 12 years old, and I'm like, you quit the band, man. We're gonna be on Behind the Music one day, and we're gonna talk about this. But yeah, and then we quit that, and Mike Hicks and I still did a band where he got his friend Matt Proach to be the drummer, and then Corey Svoboda to be the singer, and then that's when we came up with Phoenix. But then
I remember that one.
Then we learned that there was a band called Phoenix, and I was like, shit, because MySpace at the time, you could look up any band name that you're like, oh, that's a good band name, and then it's like, crap, it's a band already. Somebody always beats you to the punch.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually it became Valletta, which I was like, that's such a weird.
Oh, I forgot about Valletta.
That's such a terrible band name.
I have that. I have that album. Mike Hicks sent it to me years ago.
There you go,
because
buddy.
there's one song, and I don't remember it anymore. I remember because you guys would sit around and you would be writing songs and stuff. And this is when I think it was still Double Cherry Bar. And you guys we were talking stories. We were kind of just, because you never knew what we were getting into. Sometimes it would lead into writing songs. Sometimes you guys are just playing around.
Right.
But we're sitting there, and it was when we should just call this episode Skylar because I keep talking about him. But
I don't want to give that I don't want to give that guy any credit or anything. I have so many terrible memories with that dude, and I'll have to tell you another one later. Anyway, but it's okay. Go ahead.
So we were talking about.
It's like Voldemort. We're giving him powers.
We were talking about old girlfriends. And I said something about my old girlfriend being locked up like Fort Knox.
Yes.
And Skylar wanted to write that into a song.
Yeah.
So I've always remembered that, and I wanted that song because I thought you guys had that one recorded.
I remember that expression, and I never forget it. Anytime if I hear something along that lines, I think of you, and I think about that expression. That's really, 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 really funny and everything. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right.
I think that's why I ended up having a daughter, because life needed to be like, let's balance this out. Because the second you have a daughter, and I went out, and I immediately after she was born, I was going out and I was gigging around LA, and I play at this one club on the regular. I'm a fill-in for one of the two main guitar players. And you go there, and it's a club like you would expect it to be, where it's the lights are down and everybody's dressed to the nine, and girls are bottle service and they are barely wearing anything. And I remember the change that happened to me when I first showed up again, seeing women dressed on a night out. I'm like, you have a father somewhere. Put some clothes on. Somebody get her some pants, a sweater, a jacket, and some cover her. It really changes you. Like, and I don't think I was ever too bad with women. I don't think I was, but now I've definitely been. You know what I mean? It kind of changes you a little bit. I think that's why I ended up having. Plus, also, I didn't want to have a boy and have him be like, "I'm tougher than you. I'm gonna beat you up." I wanted a girl to be like, "Daddy, can you buy me this princess castle?" And I'll be like, "Yes."
Oh man.
Anyway.
So now like
Cherry
some of
Bar,
the fun things with your bands I remember.
Do you remember the band Smash Babies?
Smash Babies. Mm-mm.
They were like a punk rock. I love that band name. I thought it was the greatest band name ever. Smash Babies. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I thought about them the other day.
So so I remember doing, I think once or twice you played shows at the Champion Roller Rink.
Yep.
I remember those. I was being the roadie for those ones. That was fun. There was a couple of party ones, either in your backyard or we've gone to some party ones. Those were always interesting.
Yeah.
We went to Kent State once. I went along with you guys, and you played somewhere in Kent State at some bar or something. That was an interesting one. I can't remember.
That had to have been with
Phoenix area.
No, that had to have been like Valletta with Corey.
Yeah,
because I think he was up at Kent State University at the time, and he had connections. That's Leon's Bar. I've played at Leon's Bar, but I don't think we ever did. Did we?
Yes, you did.
See, that's what I'm talking about. This kid,
my God,
you have such a better memory than I do. Why don't I remember?
This is one of those really bad ones. You probably blocked this one out. So somehow you guys got into Leon's Bar. I think this was Phoenix Valletta area.
Yeah. Should have called the band that.
I think it might have been Phoenix still, because I remember the shirts.
Yeah, we had shirts and we had to change the name.
My mom actually came along, and we were all sitting there, and I can't remember if this one. Oh, that's when Kayla and I started dating, so she came along too.
All right.
So we're sitting there.
I like how you guys
still didn't have a ton of songs, so you were supposed to play like a really long set, and after like the first hour, I think you started repeating songs.
Yeah. That's what you do.
It was so uncomfortable. We're just sitting, and my mom, or I think my mom was like,
"Play the same song again."
Didn't we hear this already?
Yeah.
I go, yeah, they only have so many. Oh my God. But it was good, and everybody was pretty cool with it. And we had, lots of people came out, and I think my mom even got some people to come out. Oh yeah, we heard Paradise City 3 times, according to my wife.
We played Paradise City? I didn't know we could play that song at that time.
You guys did some covers.
I didn't know we could play that song at that time, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's interesting. No, because, man, it's so weird. I don't remember any of this. You know what it is, too? It's like, it's almost like your brain is like this hard drive of memory, like a computer. And over the years of how long I've been doing
music... Your brother is watching, by the way.
Whose brother?
Your brother. Joseph O'Grady just popped in.
Joe? Hey, Joe. Yep. What's up?
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Oh, God. This is going to go off the rails bad. No. But I think it's because I've had to learn so much stuff over the last few years. So much songs, materials, do this, do that.
Yeah.
That I start to forget. Like, I have a weird short-term memory where, like, I learn a song. I can learn a whole set the night before, like 20, 30 songs. Next week, I forget all of them. I don't remember a damn thing. You know what I mean? It's a very weird thing. And then, especially from the past, I don't have a good... I have some that I remember, but like a lot of this stuff, when I don't know what it is. I think because when you go on stage and you go to play, it's a very intimidating thing, and it's a very weird thing that you're using all your faculties at that exact moment. Your anxiety is up, your adrenaline is up. So when it comes to that experience, like you watching us and helping out with the shows and watching us be at bars and first couple of shows, you remember that all very well. I don't, because you're so nervous and worked up, and by the time it's over, you're like, what the hell happened? You're like, you go into like autopilot mode and everything. So yeah. Enjoying the show before work. All right.
Awesome, Joe. It's good to see you, man. I appreciate you popping in and seeing what we're up to.
I wish I could say the same thing.
Weird for him, because he's known us, when we were
Yeah.
We little ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Oh my
I've
God.
known, I've known Joe his whole life, or he's known me his whole life. I've known him most of his.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
It's
Yeah. So wait, you were asking, you wanted to get back on like with music and like what's
Yeah. So when did you? Now I know probably there's many of reasons to leave Ohio because
it's Ohio.
it's Ohio,
Yeah.
especially our area. So what made you finally go out to LA? What was the thing that made it happen?
If I'm being completely honest, it was a breakup.
Okay. All right.
If that was the fire I think I needed, because I was working at Walmart at the time. Woo! In Liberty, Ohio.
Oh God, you had to drive.
Yeah, a little bit. I was working there. The year before I met Dave Grohl because my dad changed the name of one of our streets in Warren, Ohio to David Grohl Alley. Got to meet Dave Grohl. He was the first famous person I had ever met. And meeting him, I couldn't have been any luckier because he was such a nice guy. And I'm sure I was a huge dork, which I still am. But he was so welcoming and inviting that at that time, I remember being like, I know who the Foo Fighters are. I know Nirvana. I obviously know who Dave Grohl is, but I wasn't like a huge fan. But I just knew
Right.
who he was. I mean, everybody knows who he is. And when I met him, that was like another aha moment. I met a famous rock star who couldn't have been nicer. Took my demo CD, which he probably chucked out the window after he left, but he did.
I don't see him doing that. He seems
No,
pretty cool.
he probably no, but he was very, very nice, and he had
That's
left
awesome.
such an impression on me. And I remember dating this girl, working, playing in bands. I was playing in a cover band at the time, just to play
Okay.
music for the sake of music. And we broke up, and I think
Oh,
something
God.
just kicked into me where I was like, "You don't." Holy blast from the past, Nelson Craig.
Holy shit!
Yeah, buddy.
It's like a Ohio get together in
It
here.
is, yeah, dude. It totally is.
What's up, Nelson? Good to see you, sir.
And I thought about what I wanted out of life. And I was like, you know what? And again, goes back to when we were kids. I was a little bit of a risk taker, and I wanted to take that chance and go, you know what? I want to go to Los Angeles. I want to give this a shot. If I'm going to do it, probably now is the best time to do it. And I was 20, and it was like January, February, and I remember setting it up, going to be like, I'm going to go to Musicians Institute. Here's another thing about me being in trouble was when I was in high school, I remember getting in trouble in band all the time still with Mrs. Moore and all that stuff. And every now and again, I butted heads with my drum instructor, Tony Fertiber, and karma's a bitch. Because I'm a teacher now for kids, and some of them just give me the ring around where I want to clunk them. And I go, Michael, don't get that mad, because you deserve this. You know you do on some level. You do. Because some parents are like, I'm sorry, he's I don't know what to say. And I'm like, I get it. I was the same way.
Yeah.
I deserve this kid in my life to give me, anyway. And I remember getting in trouble with band because I wasn't like a normal band kid who was like, like one time at band, I was like this. I wanted to play rock and roll and worship the devil and drink, beer and blah. And I remember Tony saying, you should check out MI. You would fit in with that. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, it's all rock and roll, man. And I was like, oh. So by the time I was 20, break up with this girl and go, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm moving out there. I'm going for it. I'm going to see what it's like. I'm going to try to cut my teeth and see if I can make something of this. And I just wanted that, because I think also, too, there were so many people that we knew and that I knew playing music in Ohio was just a fun thing to do. And everybody has this mentality that I absolutely can't stand. I'm going on record saying this. Get rid of the slogan, stuck in Ohio. I hate it more than life itself because what it does is drill into our minds of we're stuck in Ohio. Nothing good ever happens. Our team sucks. The weather sucks. No kidding. I know it sucks. But everybody has that mentality of why would anything good ever happen for me? Why would I try to move to New York? Or move to Los Angeles. And for me, it was just, I couldn't settle for that satisfactory of this is as good as it gets. I'm like, I'm going to take that shot. And I remember, Joe, if you're still here, Tim, is that your dad? Is that Tim?
That is my dad. My dad says hi.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
How
I will
are
actually
you?
be seeing him
So-
in a couple of weeks. We're doing a big family vacation together.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. That's so
my dad
cool.
says
Where's
hi.
he
I
at?
actually, because I talked to him on the phone like a few days ago, and I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing back the show. I'm gonna have O'Grady on as the first guest when I come back. He goes, you're still talking to O'Grady?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, how's he doing? You know, asking about you. He totally remembers you and everything.
That's so
he's
awesome. Hi, Tim. It's
Yeah.
so good to see hear from you. I was just talking to Josh. Oh, by the way, you want to know something really cool? This is
What's
your
that?
4th episode.
Uh-huh.
This is my 4th episode.
Oh, look at that. It was totally
I thought
planned out.
it was meant to be. It was in the stars. Real quick before I forget, because Joe, if you're still on there, my older brother Joe, gave me a very good sign off, and when I left for California, I want to say it was in a card, or he wrote it down as a parting gift, and something of a little note he said, and it was my favorite thing that anybody's ever said to me as advice. He goes, remember, because I went to MI, which is like a music school college thing. He goes, remember, it's just college. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean you're a fuck up. But it is a big deal, so don't fuck it up.
And that is perfectly your brother.
I thought that was great. Sorry, I don't mean to swear, but that's what he said in the notes.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't care. I try to keep it at least somewhat minimum, but I don't care.
I watched one of my podcasts when I was editing. I think it was episode 2, and I was like, ooh, I got to dial this back. Because, you know, when you, like, I don't mind swearing, but you know when you talk to somebody who swears constantly every 5 words, you're like,
Right.
I can't talk to you anymore. And it's very, like, it almost makes you feel a little bit more pompous than them. Like, I am not like you Neanderthals. You know, I can
So
do
we're already in an hour and a half.
Sorry.
I almost feel like I have to do another episode with you because we still haven't even talked about getting to LA, the North
Dude,
of 9 stuff.
I'll keep going. I don't
There's-
give a crap.
there's
If you have
we
time.
still gotta do your show.
What's that? Say again.
We still got to do your show. So I'm almost thinking about making this episode like a 2-parter. So like
We could do
we'll
that.
stop here. We'll do another episode later in June where
Yeah.
we get into the LA stuff and everything like that.
Right. That
And
sounds
then
good.
we'll
I'm
do
down
your
to do that.
show for the next hour or however you want to go.
Yeah, let's do the next hour. Wait, real quick. Nelson's got a. If anyone knows either is you, then they shouldn't be surprised if you swear occasionally. Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point.
Very true.
Yeah, a
But before
little
we
bit.
go,
With-
I have to show 2 more pictures.
Yes.
Because we're still doing some past stuff. So I don't know how I made this happen. I don't know how I accomplished this. But for about a week or 2, I got Michael O'Grady to be in the Boy Scouts of America. I don't know. I think
I gave it a
paid him
shot.
or something.
I
I
gave
have
it a
no
shot.
idea. But here is picture 1 of O'Grady.
No.
Look at him.
So rad.
Look at him. And that is actually my Grandpa Bud
Yeah.
giving you your patch or something to that nature.
Oh my God, that's so awesome! I can't
So
believe
there's
you
that
have
one.
that. I need
And
that
then
photo.
here, this is the one that I talked about. Look at that. Oh, so there. When Amelia asked, she missed out on her opportunity for this picture.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
O'Grady and I in Boy Scouts. We just got our berets because we were doing something.
Oh my God.
We were going on some trip or something, and for some reason we thought it was brilliant. To
Dude,
get
look at
berets.
those ears. It's like you took the front of a car and opened the driver and passenger side doors. Oh, that's
I think
so
we saw
funny.
another troop have berets, and they looked really cool.
Yeah.
And then we got our berets, and they looked freaking terrible.
You know what's funny? I had a blast with that, but I didn't have the discipline to stay in it for that long. I really didn't.
No.
But everybody was great there and everything. And here's a couple of things that I remember. I remember being
Okay.
cold, camping. I remember your grandfather. You had to beat him going to sleep.
Yes.
Otherwise, he snored
Yep.
like a dump truck driving with nitroglycerin. Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so loud you couldn't sleep. I remember you and I, this is another thing that you don't give yourself enough credit for, making everybody laugh one particular trip.
Oh my God!
When
yes,
we discovered
I
like
remember.
George Carlin quoting his, we almost had the entire stand-up routine down, and
Mhm.
we passed it off as it was our own. about like cats
I
and
remember
dogs.
sitting around. We were at. I don't
Yeah.
even remember what.
See,
camp
I
thing
remember
we
some
were at.
stuff. I remember some stuff.
Yeah, we were sitting around. We were at a picnic table, and O'Grady and I are right next to each other, and the entire troop is surrounding us, and we are just doing all this George Carlin stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like as if
just
we thought of
going
it at the
word for
top of our
word.
head. Like passing
Oh
it
my
off like a story. Yeah, I remember doing all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that taught me a very valuable, important lesson. The Boy Scouts of America was a couple of things. I have a bed, and I like sleeping in it as opposed to the ground. Taught me that. And I remember it was fun. You got to do things like that when you're a kid. If you can get involved with something like that, and you do that and everything. And
I
everybody
love
was,
it. It got me out of my shell some more. Getting into the leader.
You were like the
position.
rock star. That was the thing. You like had this thing of like high school and middle school where you were like, oh, people. But then in Boy Scouts, people were like, that's Josh Bauer. Get his autograph. Get it now. Get it. I heard he saved a bald eagle once. Flying with a baby. He did that. No, really? That's what that patch means? Yes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's the saving baby eagle patch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Boy Scouts was a lot of fun. I got to try to get a couple of my Scout friends and see if they would do a show with
Here's
me
the
with
thing.
this shit, because that would be fun.
Who was that one kid? I remember his name. Trevor?
Trent, yes.
Some of
Trent
those
and
kids-
Brother Wes.
And they were so
Alderman.
funny. They were funny. That's where I think I got a lot of that from too, because they were just a riot. They were so damn funny.
When we could just be us and be around the campfire or be away from the adults and just and a lot of the adults just let us do our thing most of the time. You know, when we were up in our uniforms and we had to be really respectful and everything.
Yeah.
But when we were just out in camps and oh my God, the shit we would talk about and the stories and just the utter chaos that we could do. I gotta try to get in touch because that would be a really fun episode, because the Boy Scouts has had a very rough go at it for the past little while.
Right.
With bullshits and suing and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know some bad things went down in Boy Scouts. I get it. But I'm a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. I'm damn proud of it.
What was the bad stuff that went down? What do you mean? Like just
people touching people and dirty stuff.
Like the same thing with the Catholic Church?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing that really always bothered me. When I heard about all that stuff, it gave me a weird inferiority complex, because I was like, no one ever tried to make a pass at me. What the hell? Am I not cute?
You had long hair back then.
Right. I was like,
we can't, no.
Everybody in the news is getting, I mean, it's a horrible thing. I hate to make a joke about it, but
But we're terrible people.
We're terrible people. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, I guess I'm not good looking enough for the popular kids. All the other, anyway.
But yeah, I think I may try to reach out to some people and see if they would do a Boy Scout one, because I'd love to shed some good stuff. I mean, some of it's going to be terrible what we talk about, but it built character, and we had a blast, and I love the Boy Scouts.
Who was the real quick? Sorry, and I know we got to wrap up this segment, but who was the really serious young girl and her mother? They were so serious.
Crystal.
That's what I remember.
Crystal was the girl. I actually dated her for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
I think we were dating when you came and started hanging in the Scouts.
But I remember her
Crystal
mom scared
and Sandy, I believe.
Yeah, her mom scared the hell out of me because she was so serious.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's kind of ending on a sad note. Sadly, her mom had a lot of troubles after we all got older.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
But no, she was an awesome lady, but
I didn't have any problems. I just remember like, okay, don't mess around.
Oh yeah, she was terrifying. Like there were certain people that were cool. You could kind of mess with, poke around a little bit,
right?
But Sandy, oh no, she'd rip you apart. Like, what in the hell are you doing? I don't know. I was just standing here.
Yeah, it's like having a girlfriend. They're like, you know what you did, and I'm like, the worst thing you can ever say is I don't know.
Yeah,
and I say I don't know all the time.
So before I do my plugs, please plug your podcast. We're going to talk about your podcast more in the next episode. I'm going to have you back very soon, because we could do a whole nother episode
we can
on
keep
just
going,
your music
man.
stuff in LA. So please plug your podcast so people can check it out.
So everybody, if you can, get a chance to go on YouTube and type in Michael O'Grady and the Creatives. I just got 3 episodes up right now. This 4th one will be up soon. and I got some more episodes coming up. And you can, subscribe, hit the like buttons, drop some comments, because I'm just kind of getting started. Because one of the reasons why hey, Holly's here.
Hi,
See,
Monster.
we can't call this. We got too much ground to cover. This is ridiculous.
I have to pee.
Go pee. We'll keep it going.
Water.
There's no, dude, no one's in charge of you. No one's in charge of me. We do whatever we want. It's no rules. It's anarchy. Ah, that's what I loved about doing this. But I wanted to do this because of all the COVID-19 stuff, because nothing's going on. Everything has been changed. Our entertainment business is totally turned upside down. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to have a buddy of mine come on. Again, I called it Michael O'Grady and the Creatives, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a lot of guests come on who are not only musicians, but they're involved with the entertainment business, whether that would be an actor, a writer, an agent. My buddy Matt Coatsworth, who's an agent at UTA, who deals with actors, cinematographers, directors. He works in the business. Like when you watch Entourage, how he's like a manager, but actually, I'm sorry, Ari, because Ari is an agent. That's how my buddy Matt is. And everybody's been wanting to come on and talk about their history and how they got started in LA and how we're all super affected by this, to where it's like, dude, how are they going to make the next movie? How are they going to do the next couple of shows? Because a lot of us are out of work. And it's kind of also like, I think you brought it up to me, about learning about like auditioning for North of Nine, meeting Randy Jackson, stories about meeting famous people who are absolute jerks, and people who are like, you think people, you go, man, you're like, screw that guy. I don't like that guy. But then you meet him and you're like, he's the salt of the earth, sweetest person. So we have a lot of stories like that. So if you guys get a chance, check out the podcast. Let me know what you think of it. It's on Podbean right now, by the way, just audio. And I think I just got an email that I'm eligible for Apple Music. I can start doing that soon. And I'm going to just keep plugging away at it. And I appreciate you having me on here. I really do. And I think it's so funny that you and I are doing something so similar now that I think we're kind of perfect for. Like, we're different enough, but we're similar enough to where this kind of, because again, we grew up talking to people and almost interviewing and shooting the shit, where again, we're an hour and 40 into this. We could keep going. And,
and we are going to keep going because we have your show to do.
Right. So anyway,
please don't, nobody go anywhere. We're going to keep this stream live. And I'm going to do my plugs real quick and then I'll explain it. So if you are watching this, you love this show, follow me on any social media, J Bauer Art, all one word. You can go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to if you missed any part of the show and want to catch it again, you can find it on YouTube. It'll be at the Hanging with Web Show YouTube channel, HWWS Web TV, and you can see it on there and catch it anytime. You can catch the old episodes, all three, my whole whopping 3 episodes before will be on there. And I am working on trying to figure out, I'm going to get a few more episodes in, and then I'm going to figure out how to make this an actual podcast, so I can be up on all the fancy things too. And then if you want to get any of the artwork, any of my paintings, anything like that, head over to
you did the artwork for my show. Talk about that real quick. You did the artwork for my show, and it's so rad.
I did. You guys will be able to see the artwork for his show in just a little bit. I'm actually going to change the logo that's up that way to Michael O'Grady and the Creatives podcast. We'll probably talk about that on his show. So we are going to that's the end of the show. Here's my signal for that. We're gonna take a little break. I have to pee so damn bad.
So do I.
So I'm gonna put a little thing that says "Keep calm. We'll be right back." We're gonna take 5-10 minute break. Is that good?
Yeah,
for you?
5-10 minutes. And you should have recorded like some elevator music for it.
That would be great.
No, you know what you need? The logo that says "Hang in there, baby," with the cat.
There we go.
But instead of a branch, you could do this. You could make it a boom mic. Anyway, all right, take a break, everybody. Stay there or do the same thing that we're doing, and then come back, and we're going to hang out.
Yeah, I'm going to hide us and then just put the keep calm on so nothing gets shown up in the background.
So, hey, it's
and then
5.
We'll be back in like 10 minutes or so.
Do you want to get back at 53?
Yeah.
53. All right.
All right. We'll be right back.
After these messages.